Hey, what is up, people of YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Dyer, and if you don't know me, you're about to get to know me in this amazing video where I am doing another DIY project. Yay! I did a DIY project with my friend Noah, and it was a lot of fun, and I liked filming it. And even though the format was very different and something I was not used to and not really prepared for, I was kind of excited to sit back down and do another video like this. So I'm going to do better with actually showing what I'm doing, and hopefully this goes well. I'm going to be making a cup cozy like this one. It's basically made out of can holders or whatever. It is for stemless wine glasses like this, and it just slips right on. I made this one for my mom. I made it because when she would have a drink, and it had ice in it, so it was cold and the glass would sweat, and she didn't want to grab onto the glass when it was all wet and sweaty or whatever. And so she would tape a bunch of paper towels all around the glass, and it would be a waste of tape and a waste of paper towels, and it was just a shit show. I wish there was a can holder big enough for a stemless wine glass. And so then I thought, well, why not just take can holders and make one big enough for a stemless wine glass? So I did, and this is what came out of it. Yeah, so I'm going to be showing you how to make one of these today. I'll just show you. So it's made out of 3 of them, and each side, so there are 3 sides. There's 1, 2, and 3, and each side is 1/2 of a can holder. The bottom, I just kind of tri-folded and stitched together, which I'll show you. And this one's been used for a while. It's been loved, so it is a little worn and a little dirty. So hopefully I can make a new one or 2 new ones today for my mom to have. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so like I said, you basically need 1 full can holder plus an extra 1/2 of one, if that makes sense. So if you want to do 3 different sides like this one is, then you need 3 different can holders. Just know you'll have 3 halves of a can holder left over. So you can make 2 of the same exact one or whatever you want. So I got those ones at Five Below, and they're $3 each. So it's a fairly cheap project. I bought at Five Below can holders. You could probably find them at the dollar store too, so it could be even cheaper than what I said. Or if you want to find really cute ones, you could look on Amazon. I don't really care where you get them. You could probably have some sitting around your house. I don't know, so it's up to you. So I bought 6 today, and 3 of them are different from each other, and then 3 of them are the exact same. So I thought it would be cute to have different options. So these are 3 that I got today. So the first one says no problema. Thought it was really cute, and it's the same on both sides. Second one is Stay Wild Moonchild, and the third one is Shell Yeah with a little turtle, which I thought was cute. And the other 3 that I got are all the same. They are just these rainbow can holders. There's nothing much to say. So I thought it would be cute to make one that's just the same all the way around. So you'll need, like I said, 3 of these. And then you will also need needles, which most people should have them just sitting around their house. So the second thing that you'll need is a thread, a threader, I don't know what it's called. It's just the thing that you use to stick the thread into the needle initially. Also a thimble, which this one is different than your normal just like solid hard metal thimble. It's hard right there, and then the rest of it, it's like I think of it as like a little baseball mitt for your finger. I like this better because the other ones just fall right off of my finger. I have small hands, so small fingers, and it would never stay on. Then I just have a tape measure, and then I have, I don't know what this thing's called either, but I'll probably add it in editing, the name of it. And then I just have thread. I'm just gonna use white thread today. It might matter to you, but it doesn't really matter to me what color thread I use when stitching them all together in the end. And then I just have a pair of scissors. So dangerous. Scissors, yeah. Y'all have seen scissors before. I think I'm going to start with these ones. Make these into a cup cozy. So let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is rip the seam that's holding the can holder together using this seam ripper. I'm starting by ripping the first few stitches that are at the top of the can holder so that I can break the knot that is holding the stitch together. And as I continue down the edge, I am just going to rip 3 or 4 stitches at a time and try to do gentler pulls while ripping. If you get too aggressive, you might accidentally rip the fabric or material you are working with, which would be bad.
So I only ripped the stitching apart for 2 of these since they are the same on both sides. And next thing is using the scissors to cut this in half. And it's perfect because it's already got a crease for you, almost like a cut line ready, where it was folded in half already. So if you just cut right across that, you'll be golden. So now I have my 3 halves. This is exactly what you need. So now we can start stitching. So we just need to get our thread and our needle. So let's thread this sucker and then we can start stitching these together.
So next, I am going to stick the end of the needle threader into the hole of the needle. I am then taking my thread and sticking it into the loop of the needle threader. The needle at this point should be on the threader at the base of the loop, and the thread will be pulled through at the top of the loop, like this. Now, in order to get the thread into the needle, I'm going to pull the needle off of the threader, and like magic, my thread will be in my needle. Now, I know I'm cutting here, but before you make any cuts, I'm going to tell you how much thread you need, so now's the time to get out your measuring tape. First, make sure your thread is pulled through your needle so that there are 2 strands of equal length. Now you can measure out 28 inches of thread on your needle and make the cut. Finally, I am just tying a knot at the end of my thread. You don't need to worry about leaving extra thread for knot tying at the end of your 28 inches, because I already accounted for that. Just don't use more than 2 inches of your thread to tie the knot and you'll be golden. Next, I am just lining up 2 sides of my can holders with the fronts facing inwards and the insides facing out. Then, I am going to stick my needle through the top corner of both pieces and pull it through until I reach the knot at the end. Now I am going to use what is called an overcast stitch. It basically means creating a stitch that goes over the edge of the fabric. It's super easy, you just stick the needle through the front side of the fabric and pull it through to the back side. I'm repeating this step several times in the same spot at the top of the 2 pieces to create a solid stitch that will hold it together. I am just continuing down the edge of the cup cozy using the overcast stitch. Now there is a neater way to do this stitch to make sure every stitch is even, but I'm just doing a dirty overcast stitch because I'm lazy and didn't want to do anything extra. But if you want to make sure your stitch looks nicer than mine, you can take a ruler and some chalk and draw a line parallel down the edge of the pieces so you know where to stick your needle through. This way you're not just poking holes through your fabric wherever you feel like, and you have a more controlled system going. Also, now would be a good time to use your thimble, especially since the can holders are a thicker material and require a little more oomph to get that needle through. Now with my final stitches, I'm going to push the needle through like normal, but instead of pulling the thread tight over the edge, I'm going to pull the needle through the loop of the thread like so. Then, as I pull the thread tight over the edge, I've created a knot. Lastly, I'm going to stick my needle through a few stitches at the end. And then I'm going to stick my needle through the loop to tie a knot just like I did before. Once I've completed that, I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the excess thread. And there you have it, I got one side done. And now I'm going to do the same exact thing and stitch up the other two edges. Be right back.
Alright, so I finished stitching all three sides. As you guys can see, I just did the same stitch that I did the first time that I showed you on all three sides here, and it just makes it a triangle now. So the last thing I have to do is stitch the bottom together. So I'm going to turn this inside out. So now we just do the bottom like this tri-fold here, and the stitching is right in there. So I will show you how to do that. I took two edges, and where they both rounded on the edge there, I folded those together so that the rounded part lined up like that. We'll start with one side first, and then we'll start folding them all together.
So as you can see, I decided to use purple thread now since the bottom is all purple. And I am just threading my needle and will measure out about 9.5 inches of thread to use for the bottom. And don't forget to tie your 3 knots at the end so you are good to start stitching. Now I am just lining up the edges on the bottom like I showed you before, making sure the rounded parts line up. And I will begin to stitch them together the same exact way I stitched the inner parts together. And to finish up this edge, I am tying 3 knots, you guessed it, 3, exactly like I did earlier to secure the stitches. Next, I have to stitch the other 2 edges together, so I'm just lining them up so that the left piece lays on top of the right piece, like so.
Alright y'all, I am done. I finished stitching the bottom. So here's all of the edges. It did get a little messy on the first one I did because one of the stitches didn't go through all the way. So luckily that is on the bottom and nobody's gonna see the bottom unless they intentionally look. So it's fine, it doesn't matter. But this is the final product. It is a rainbow all the way around. It's really pretty, it's really nice. There is a hole in the bottom, which there isn't a hole in the bottom on the first one that I made. I think it's just because I pulled all the edges tighter and closer together, and it's perfect to just slip right on your glass. You don't have to wrap paper towel around it and a bunch of scotch tape and waste all that. You can just have your cup cozy and drink straight from this. So there you go. That is my DIY video of how to make a cute little cup cozy for stemless wine glasses. But it does take a little bit of time. This certainly isn't some quick and easy DIY project, but it's fun. Just turn on your favorite TV show, music, podcast, whatever you want to do while doing it, and just kick back and have some fun stitching this stuff up. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and smash the shit out of that subscribe button if you are not subscribed to my channel. If you have any comments about this, questions or concerns or anything, let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to see more DIY projects from me, let me know. Let me know what to do. I am certainly open to trying new things and trying to make new things. I'll be down for anything. Share it with all of your friends. Tell every single person you know, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your best friend's brother, your cousin, your neighbor's dog. I don't know. Tell everybody you know, share this video. Again, like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.